pinky up because I'm fancy up in this thing. Welcome back to Sippin With Sin, the podcast where we talk about stuff and things and stuff that are important to everyone. It is the number one podcast of that. It's proven by science. It's facts. It happens. It's science. Yeah, just it's true. Don't argue it. Don't dispute it.
It's damn true.
That's right. You're not even introed yet. Okay, we're starting off great. Welcome back to another episode, another week. Hope you're doing well. We're happy to have you here. Christian's already breaking everything. So let's just go ahead and welcome him in since he just wants to kick the door open and introduce himself. Christian, good God. Professionalism at
feels
its
good
best.
to be back for another week. It's true. It's damn true.
Oh, my God. And on that note, we're going to be talking about some wrestling. That's right. Brother. We're going to be talking about all the good stuff because it's WrestleMania week. So what better time than to have some topics and some lists and stuff and some predictions and all kinds of fun things. Why not? But like we like to do every episode, we like to start with what we've been watching, reading, listening to, and playing this past week. And I think I've been hogging that lately the past few weeks. So we're going to let Christian get down to it. Christian, lead us. Tell us what you've been into.
This week, man, it's been a weird week. I've watched a lot of the show. I think I was telling you guys about last podcast episode, and that's The Wire. I'm officially on the third season, episode 1 of season 3. I've been blowing through the first 2 seasons. I really enjoy the show. The writing is immaculate. The acting has been superb so far. It's really fun seeing a lot of actors that I love and respect now in this show. Which was a lot of their starts, at least for the majority of their audiences. So it's just really nice to see these people doing their thing in this show so early on. And if you haven't seen The Wire yet, you should, why? Don't make the same mistake I did and not watch it. This show is fantastic, at least so far. And then aside from that, I've watched the first 2 episodes of The Glory from Netflix. It's a Korean show. It's a revenge-based show, and I've really enjoyed the first 2 episodes. You get a really good amount of serious and silly. That's their kind of humor out there as well. So right now, The Glory is great. If you don't mind watching something subtitled, absolutely watch it. I'm sure you can watch it in English as well. I'm sure they have the dubbed version because it's Netflix, but I usually watch stuff in whatever the language it was intended for and just subtitle it. So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, man, it's absolutely worth it so far. First 2 episodes are great. And that's been me. Aside from that, I went to the library and I got a new book I haven't started yet called Baby Teeth. Literally haven't started reading it yet. I just know the general premise of the book. It's a woman who has, I think, a 7-year-old daughter, and she thinks that her daughter is out to kill her. And her daughter is so sweet to the dad and everyone else, but a total little demon baby to the mom. So I'm going to give this a shot, see if it's something that's for me. And if it is, I'll let you guys know. But one thing that really drew me to this book is each chapter is told in a different way. So chapter 1 is called Hannah. So this is from Hannah's point of view, Hannah being the mom. And then, actually, I think I said that completely backwards, but Hannah and Suzette. So Hannah is the daughter, so it's told from her point of view, and then you get Suzette's story, kind of like they do in Game of Thrones, for example. So that drew me to this even more so. It's gotten decent reviews. So like I said, I'm going to check that out, see if it's any good. And if it is, I'll let you guys know. And if it's not, I will let you guys know. But that's been me this week, man. What you been up to, Sid?
Okay, so I've watched several WrestleManias. I don't even know how many. I just kind of started and then let them go in order. Been playing them. Me and Baby Sin has been kind of putting it on during the day while we do stuff and play and hang out with him and just kind of having his background noise. So we've been going through those, getting ready for WrestleMania this weekend. Time of recording this podcast. And yes, I'm sitting in a darker room. Don't judge me, those on YouTube. It's a vibe. Anyways, other than the WrestleMania, I started Resident Evil 4. Actually last night and did chapter 1. Game looks absolutely gorgeous. Super awesome so far. I've been doing that, and I watched a movie.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about what movie I watched. So I'm gonna go in this with saying I already wanted to see this movie, and I kind of already had where I kind of figured the movie would be, expectation wise. And my wife was like, this movie is going to be stupid. It's going to be so
I already
dumb.
know what it is. And
then we watched it, And I kid you not, after the movie ended, I was like, I would probably buy that. I would definitely watch that again. And she was like, I would 100% watch that again. And that movie is Cocaine Bear. That movie is so good. Oh my
I
God.
told you, man.
So look, if you were going in for some like Oscar-worthy performance, then you just don't know movies. Like, the movie's called Cocaine Bear. You should just expect a fun horror comedy, and it delivers. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. There's so many moments that I was just dying laughing. I think you said it best. It's a great popcorn flick. Like, it's just a good time movie. So if you've been sleeping on Cocaine Bear, watch it. I promise. If you like horror at all, funny stuff, just watch it. It's so good. I liked it a lot.
It was definitely surprisingly good. And I will say this as well. I totally just kind of whiffed and didn't even go over the fact that I have been playing Resident Evil. I've been playing Resident Evil and watching The Wire more than literally anything this week. And Resident Evil 4 was one of my favorite games of all time. The original from 2005. That was one of my favorite games of all time. And it was actually my favorite game of all time until I played Mass Effect 2, which was recently dethroned by God of War Ragnarok. But I will say this, playing Resident Evil 4 again, the remake, god damn. Like, that game is fantastic, dude. Like, everything is better. The story feels better. It's the same story, but it feels better. Obviously, the graphics are better. The
Graphics are
gameplay is
amazing.
better.
They look so good.
Like, it's so good. Like, this is how you fucking do a remake. Like, Capcom put their fucking foot in this, dude. They really gave a damn about this remake. It feels good to play. Being able to parry stuff with your knife just adds a whole nother level to the game, because when you miss and whiff that and don't block something with your knife, assuming you have one that's, fully available to you, when you miss that, dude, it makes you feel like you fucked up, which is the case. You fucked up. Leon has everything he needs. And if you mess it up, you've messed it up. And there are genuinely scary portions of this game. I've played it before, and I know typically what's going to happen. But dude, like, I'm playing it last night for an example. They added a little spice in the game, is what I'll say. There are some scares in the game that they add. There are some things in the game that you're fully expecting to show up, to happen again. But the way that they do it in this remake, it's a little different. And it's just different enough to throw you off, but also be like, I see what you did. For another example, without ruining the game, obviously, everybody who has played the game knows this is coming. And everybody who hasn't played the game, like, if you don't want to hear anything about it, skip ahead like a minute. But you have to fight this creature early on in chapter 1 called El Gigante. El Gigante is literally a giant ogre creature, right? And I said last week on this podcast, and I'm going back on it now, I said that they took the dog out of the game. They did not take the dog out of the game. They just fucking play you and make you think that they've taken the dog out of the game. The dog is back. You have that boss battle back, and just fighting him feels so good. Fighting him feels so good. It's very much possible to fight that boss and not get hit, to take him out quickly, even if you don't have maxed out weapons and stuff. Like, it's very possible to do that. But just the way that the game is, the way that it feels when you take that character out, it's amazing. And then having that dog come back is really cool. There's another boss battle early on in the game, and Sin, you've met this character. I'm assuming you've met this character already. But you played the game, and you know the guy that they call the Big Cheese in the original one, the big tall guy with the beard and the hat. He's bald.
Yeah, it
He's
looks
got
like
the messed up eye.
Mr. X or whatever, but with the beard.
Yeah, he kind of does actually. He has a voice in this game. He like actually talks a lot in this game, which is weird because he had no lines in the last one. Like, until you did the boss battle, he didn't really speak. So that was really cool. But his voice is not what I expected, but I like it. But the thing is, when you beat him, the achievement is called something to the effect of the big cheese, like because they never call him that in this game like they did in the last game. So the developers of this game like are on it, bro. They're on the same shit that we're on playing the games. So it's so good. And right now I'm at the castle. I'm like half. For those of you who don't know, I'm like 50% of my way through the main story. This is one game that I'm going to complete and then immediately start a new game. Like I can't wait to start a new game and play it all over again after I've beaten it. But there are genuine parts in this game that are really fucking difficult. So,
I
Sin,
forgot
you may
how tricky
remember.
the village was, the very beginning. Like I remember
Yeah,
playing it the first time and being like,
Villages seem
"Oh,
like the
this is kind of
hardest part
hard."
so far.
And then this time I kind
So
of went in
far,
like, "Oh, it
dude.
ain't going to be bad." And then I was just
Yeah.
getting destroyed and I was like, "I don't remember what I'm supposed to do. Do I find a key? Am I?" And then after a while I was like, "I'm just supposed to
Let me be
survive. I don't do
honest with you,
shit but
dude.
survive."
Yeah, so far, the village has been the hardest part of the game. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like when you get to the castle, sure, it's annoying because there's different types of enemies, and I'm not gonna go too much into the types of enemies that you have to fight in the hot in the castle. But the enemies get harder for sure. But god damn, there are some parts in the village that like will really fuck you up if you're not paying attention. And you remember from the original Resident Evil 4, there's a part where you're in a cabin with Luis and you guys have to fend off a bunch of infected coming in, a bunch of zombies, a bunch of ganados, as I believe they're called. That part of this game, dog, I don't know if I'm just trash at the game or what, but I died. That was the first time I died like more than twice playing anything so in
I
the
died a
game.
lot in the village. I
And
can't even lie. I was just
I
trying
was
to
like,
remember
why
how to
am I
do
dying
controls.
right now? Like, what the fuck? And there's a new enemy in this game that wasn't in the last game that you fight early in the game. Obviously, we see the chainsaw, the chainsaw guy. We know he's there from the demo and all that stuff. But they added a new villain, a new tanky villain in this game, and I believe you've already met him if you've
He
played
was in chapter 1, I
any of the.
think. The dude's got like a pig head
Yeah,
on or something.
it's the guy with the pig head on him,
Yeah.
dude. Yo, so here's the thing. I don't know if you know this, but if you sneak up behind that guy, you can kill him one hit.
Oh, I messed him up. I
You
threw a
can,
grenade, and then like he kind of got stunned, and then I ended up like meleeing him, and then I just lit him up. I stabbed him and killed him, so he wasn't that bad.
yeah. So that's the thing. You can get behind him and stab him, but they don't tell you that. You just figure it out. So
Yeah,
there's things like that in this game, and I really like that they don't tell you everything because it makes it a little bit more fun when you figure some of that stuff out. But yeah, dude, you don't just meet him the one time. There's a few of those guys in the village, so just
it's good
keep
so
some
far
ammo
though.
on you.
I mean, it definitely. I'm excited for it. I think they've done a really good job with it. I think Capcom's doing a good job with the Resident Evil remakes in general. Honestly, I think they're
This
doing.
remake makes me want them to remake 5 and 6. 5 and 6 aren't my favorite Resident Evils by any means,
The only
but
way I
if
want them
they
to, I
keep
just want them to do co-op in 5. That's about the only thing. I think that would be so fun on a remake, like better graphics. Imagine playing co-op, having cross-play with your friends. That'd be fire. Like it'd be.
I think that I think that if Capcom wanted, they could absolutely remake 5 and go into 6. Like I said, I don't want to ruin anything for Resident Evil 4 remake because it just came out recently. It's only been out for what, not even a week yet. It's sold a record-breaking amount of copies already, which I
What,
just
like
saw on
3 million
IGN.
copies or something in 2 days? It was
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, and I'm one of those people, man. Like I knew as soon as that game announced, it was a buy for me because that was one of my favorite games of all time. And this playing this again makes me remember why this was my favorite game of all time until Mass Effect 2 came out. And dude, if the game keeps going the way it's going right now, I might have a new favorite game of all time when we're done. I don't know. I
Changing
don't want
favorite
to,
games like you
just
change underwear out here.
I don't, man. It's between 3 games: God of War Ragnarok, Mass Effect 2, and Resident Evil 4. Those are like top tier for me. Those games equal what I'm looking for: single player experience, leveling up, the crafting, picking the way you want to do things, like the graphics. All those things are what I'm looking for in a game. I'm not necessarily looking for something that I can play couch co-op. I'm not necessarily looking for a dungeon crawler. I'm not necessarily looking for something that I can grind out. I'm looking for something that's going to keep me engaged because the story demands me to be engaged. I'm looking for something that asks me to create a character or to customize a character. I'm looking for something that requires me to think about what types of weapons I want to use in the game and how I want to defeat certain bosses in the game. Like I'm looking for that. And I know a lot of people are hearing that and thinking, well, don't you just want to play a Souls game? And it's like, yeah, I like Souls games, but I'm really, really bad at Souls games. However, they are a lot of fun. But with these types of games, I'm not playing them because they're so difficult and you have to be a certain caliber of gamer to play. You need to pay attention. And I really enjoy that type of game. Now, when it comes to multiplayer games and stuff, I have what I'm looking for in that, but that's a conversation for another day. I just wanted to say again, Resident Evil 4 so far is damn near a masterpiece, and I'm gonna be excited and also sad once I get past the main story. But anyway, man,
before we go anywhere else, I wanted to circle around to Cocaine Bear. So there's one thing that kind of caught me off guard with it. The director, Elizabeth Banks, directed this. That kind of blew my mind because I was like, really? I didn't expect that. Those that don't know, I'm going to use like a awful reference of how you would know her. She's Rita Repulsa in the latest Power Rangers movie.
That's what you chose. All right.
Yeah, I know. I could have chose so many other great projects she's in, and I choose Power. Hey, I actually like the Power Rangers movie. Don't hate. I did enjoy the latest one.
All right.
No, so you thought it was Boo Boo Shoes?
I didn't think it was Boo Boo Shoes. It just wasn't.
I liked it.
Here's the problem. The problem that I had with there are three problems with the movie. One, the ridiculous product placement. Tangent. That's one problem. Second problem, you're watching a movie called Power Rangers. They're only the Power Rangers for about 15 minutes. That's.
I mean, it's not an origin story. They were probably planning on building off of it, and they didn't. Okay, while Christian's on his rant, she's also known for Charlie's Angels, Pitch Perfect 2, The Hunger Games, Zack and Miri Make a Porno, Walk of Shame, Spider-Man. The hell was she in Spider-Man? 40-Year-Old Virgin.
It's Betty Brant, bro.
Oh, there you go. Call Jane, Brightburn. She's been in a lot of stuff. Invincible. Fred Claus. Movie 43. Our Idiot Brother. Like, she's been in a lot of stuff. She's been around. And I did not expect her to be the director. I didn't even know she directed. But she kind of crushed it. I mean, it only has a 67% on Rotten Tomatoes, 54% on Metacritic, and 6 out of 10 on IMDb. But I feel like these movies, you kind of have to know, like, I don't know. Do people go in expecting this to be serious? It's loosely based off a true story of a bear that ate like I think I read 75 pounds of cocaine. I mean, what do you expect? It's a bear that's jacked up on cocaine. Like, this movie's not going to be serious. Dude, the CGI of the bear was hilarious. There was one scene. Do you remember the scene where it's on his back, like, crawling to the person, like, sliding to him?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? There's so much stuff. It's just like, oh. And gory. It is actually pretty freaking gory. But I liked it because it's a bear. And it's not just going to be like, oh, let me nibble on you. Nom, 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 nom. Because that's what bears do. You know, they go, nom, 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 nom.
Oh, man.
You didn't know a bear? That's what it does? You ever seen a bear in the woods? That's what it does. It will come up. It goes. Nom, 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 nom.
I don't fuck around in the woods. I'm not going to lie to you.
What about Redbeard being in it? From Game of Thrones. I don't know. I can't remember his name. Christopher something.
Tormund.
Huh?
His name was Tormund.
Yeah. Well, his name is Redbeard.
Well, that's his moniker though, but his name is Tormund.
Well, his name's Redbeard. That's what I call him. I can't tell you how many times we watch Game of Thrones. I've never called him by his name. It's always Redbeard. Same with my wife.
They don't even call him Redbeard that much in the show.
I call him Redbeard. I don't care what they call him. That's what I call him.
God. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. Fun movie, though. Resident Evil 4 is amazing. Cocaine Bear, watch it. If you watch it, let us know. If you're playing Resident Evil 4, let us know. And that's going to bring us to our first topic. We're going to do some predictions. WrestleMania 39, right? It's 39, isn't it? Next year's 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's WrestleMania 39 happens this Saturday and Sunday, time of recording this, so a few days away. And we were just going to go down through the card that was announced recently, like the full-on card with the days and whatever, and just kind of give you our quick predictions. So probably not a lot of backstory, thought, process stuff on it, but yeah, sure we can elaborate some. But I'm just going to say the match, and then we'll kind of just do our prediction. How's that sound?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Me get stuff situated. All right. So, Saturday, the opening match. I guess they're wanting to start strong. It's kind of weird that it's opening, but I guess it's a strong. I guess they do start with a strong match to kick the show off to kind of get like the blood flowing. But opening match is John Cena versus Austin Theory, which is essentially like a young Cena kinda. I see comparisons. Who do you have? Oh, it's a United States Championship match too. Sorry.
I think they're gonna put over Austin Theory, to be honest with you.
Same. I
And
have
John
Theory
Cena is a good sport at that.
because I mean Cena has really nothing. I feel like a lot of them are really behind Theory, so it's a good way for him to kind of like elevate his character. So I go Theory.
Makes sense.
Plus, what's John Cena gonna do with the United States title when he's just gonna go back to Hollywood?
Mm-hmm.
Unless he loses the next night. But I say Theory still. Second match listed, which I don't know that it's necessary. This is definitely not the order they're in. Next match listed is Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley.
I think they're gonna put over Rhea, which would make sense because Charlotte, like, what does she have to lose, dude? Nothing. She's been a champion like 78 times. Nobody gives a shit anymore. It's gonna be Rhea. Rhea is huge right now as well. So
yeah, I'm going Rhea. I think Rhea wins. She's got a good gimmick going. Crowd's getting behind her. She's a good performer. I think she gets the belt off Charlotte and finally kind of takes over that rivalry because I think Charlotte's kind of dominated it, right? For the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Next one listed is the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Because it's WrestleMania, I'm gonna go with Sami Zayn and KO. If this weren't WrestleMania, if this was any other event, then I would say the Usos because they would probably just cheat. But I think that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are going to win. I don't think the win's going to be clean, but I think they're going to win.
I'm going.
They need to put over Sami Zayn anyway. So
I'm going with KO and Sami Zayn also, just because Zayn has been crazy over lately with the whole Bloodline story, which has been a really good story. Part of me, I don't know. Part of me wants to go Usos to keep their reign going, but it also depends on what's going to happen with Roman later in the Bloodline. But I'm going to go with Zayn and Owens to take the belts off of them. Plus, it'd be a good accolade for them. They've been best friends, and their careers have kind of mirrored and paralleled each other for a long time. So I'm going to say the over Zayn helps them probably get the belt. Hopefully.
All right.
Next match, Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus versus Damage Control, which is Bayley... yeah, Bayley and her group. I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank.
This is quick. You're not gonna bring Trish Stratus back just to have her lose at WrestleMania like that. No, that'd be stupid.
That would be
Honestly,
a good shock though, to like help the heel faction.
Yeah, that pop though. I mean, I could totally see WWE, especially the state that the WWE is in right now. I could totally see them doing it. But like, if that would, how insulting would that be? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they've been winning.
For them, it doesn't matter. They're Hall of Famers. They're just putting over people.
I mean, when you put it that way, it makes a lot of sense. Also, I would say too, I don't want to see Becky go to another Mania and lose. Like, I personally don't want to see that, so it's a little biased. Yeah, like Lita is a Hall of Famer. Trish is a Hall of Famer for sure as well. So I mean, I could totally see them putting over Bayley and her group, but like they're not going to be hurt if they don't win. And obviously, here's the thing too. I'm still going Trish and all them, but if they lose, then the win will absolutely not be clean. And there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have that.
I wrote down
Who
Becky,
you got?
Trish, and Lita too, just because. I mean, that's gonna be the fan favorite. But
That's a WrestleMania moment, dude. Like, why take that from them?
I'm also really kind of leaning towards Damage Control. I don't know. I know there's a big women's tag match later. I don't know if that means they're number one contender. I don't really remember. So my thoughts were if Damage Control did beat Becky, Lita, and Trish, then they would automatically get like a title shot to maybe get their belts back afterwards because Lita and Becky are champions. But this will probably end that rivalry, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to go with Becky, Trita. Yeah, I'm going to go with Becky and Trita. Becky, Trish, and Lita. All right, this is my prediction for... There's one of two matches I think steal the show, and this is one of them. And I think this will steal the show. Seth freaking Rollins versus Logan Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Who you got?
Give me yours first.
Seth Rollins. I mean, Logan Paul shocking the world beating Rollins. Rollins has not really had a belt, or I mean, he had the United States for like a minute, but he hasn't really had like a big championship in a while. And he's been over. He's been putting in work, like with all these rivalry stuff. He's so over with the crowd. They're so loud. I don't know. I think you gotta give Rollins this redemption of Logan Paul. Plus, I mean, yeah. Logan Paul's contract's up supposedly after WrestleMania, which I'm sure they'll sign him back because he's doing really good for someone that's only done like three matches at this point, 3 or 4 matches in the WWE. Pretty crazy.
I'm gonna go with Seth as well. The thing for me is Logan Paul is over, but he wants to be like one of the biggest stars in WWE, and that's due to his ego and money. And after the loss that he took in UFC or boxing, excuse me, like he's been on WWE like hardcore. So I think that him winning this would kind of just be a disservice to everybody else that like really gives a shit about WWE and their careers and everything. No, that's not even a disrespect to Logan Paul for me. Like I don't necessarily hate Logan Paul. I think Logan Paul is. I don't think he's a good person, but I think that he's very smart, and I think that
Him
the
and his
people
brother are
backing
marketing
him
geniuses. I have to give him credit.
Yeah, exactly. But just because you're good at marketing stuff doesn't mean you're a good person. You know what I mean?
No, I never said that.
But
I never said that other part.
Yeah, but anyway, I don't think that Logan Paul and what I think of him personally. Like I said, I don't even hate him or anything. It's nothing like that.
I think
I
he's
just
grown
think that
compared to where Logan was. I don't know about Jake necessarily, but I don't know. I'll have to give the devil his due. I had low expectations for Logan. I thought he would be a good natural heel because he already plays that. But he's damn
if I had to
athletic.
hang out with one of them for a full day, it would absolutely be Logan over Jake. With that said, though, I think that it's going to be a really good match. But I'm still going to say I think Seth's going to take that. It's been a minute since we had a really good Seth Rollins match at Mania, because the last time he had a really good Mania match was when he won the title off of Lesnar, I believe. What was that, 2019? So, yeah, man, we need this. He needs this. And Logan doesn't necessarily need this. He's already over. He looks good. He performs
What do you mean?
amazingly.
Last year's Cody Rhodes Rollins match was good.
I actually didn't watch that one, so I can't speak to that one.
It was good. Rollins is a good performer. I think they steal the show, though, because Logan is still new enough in the ring and wanting that viral splash so much, he's going to take some kind of insane risk. And Rollins is just a good wrestler, too, and athletic. So
Logan Paul, bro, like, Logan Paul is fun as shit to watch wrestling. He's really fun to watch.
He's athletic.
So,
he's a lot more athletic than I thought he was.
He reminds me of young, and I'm not saying like he emulates or anything. He just gives me the same vibe as young Matt Hardy. So and I enjoy that. That's fun to watch. Like I said, not his wrestling style necessarily, just like what he's willing to do. Because I almost said Shane McMahon, but like Shane McMahon looks dumb out there most of the time, and it's just fun to see because he just looks so stupid.
Shane McMahon has to use a wheelbarrow to carry his big balls though, because that dude does some crazy shit. Like,
I'm surprised that his back still works. To be honest with you, he has done some crazy shit. But anyway, I'm gonna just end it and say Rollins.
Rollins,
for that
same.
one.
All right, Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio. I'll just go ahead and tell you mine. I think Dominic, because Rey's becoming a Hall of Famer. This is essentially the passing of the torch, pretty much, I feel like.
Listen, you asked me for my prediction. My prediction is also Dominic. However, I've been a Rey Mysterio fan for so long. It's hard to bet against him. But Dominic's, he's got a whole gimmick that's working for him right now. He's getting over. So like, obviously it would make sense for the father to beat the son.
All right, and the final match, again, these are not in the correct order. Final match for Saturday is Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus the Street Profits and Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. I'm just going to go ahead and say I'm going Street Profits just because out of those teams, I'm going to pick Street Profits. It's probably my team I like the best. And they're the only, well, Viking Raiders are actual. Well, and so is Alpha Academy. I'm saying Street Profits.
I mean, it would make the most sense for Street Profits to win, to be honest with you. So that's my vote on that one. I would like to see Braun Strowman and them win just because I think that'd be fun. But Street Profits is, I wouldn't bet against them in this, especially not at Mania.
Because they want the smoke. All right, that takes us to Sunday. So I'm going to do this in reverse order this time. That way we get to the main event last. Okay. So Sunday we have Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. I'm going to say Ronda and Shayna, I think. Yeah, I'm going to say them.
I'm gonna go Ronda and Shayna too because those are the two heaviest hitters, like in that group. Those are the two heaviest hitters.
My thinking is, if they win, does that mean they go for the tag belts and maybe take them off Lita and Becky?
I can see that happening. And here's the thing:
I don't know if this is the number one contender. I don't know what the winner of this match gets. I don't know how that works, but
I don't think it's necessarily a part of the story. I just think that that's something that will happen. And that would be a very natural progression. And if Becky and Trish Lita were gonna lose the titles, then that would be a perfect team to lose them to. Yeah. So absolutely.
My other candidate for match of the night or match of WrestleMania, the show stealer, and that would possibly be Edge and Finn Balor, the Demon, in Hell in a Cell. I still think Logan and Seth might steal it, but this one I'm really excited for. I definitely think this will have the best entrances of all of them. And who do you have?
Is it confirmed it's going to be Demon Balor?
Yes. Yeah, he confirmed it. So the first promo, I think Edge was like, bring your demon and I'll be the devil. And then Finn did a promo back where it flashed to him being the demon. He's like, I don't have to bring the demon or call the demon. The demon's always there. But it like showed the like flash in his face paint and stuff. So he's coming out as the demon, which makes me think the demon is like pretty much usually undefeated. So I'm going to go with the demon, I think, winning.
Yeah, like I think same. Like so since it's confirmed that he's going to be coming out as the demon, then the demon will take that one. I think that if you ever bring out the demon in a match and he loses, then it's dead. The character's dead.
He's lost twice as a demon?
I don't even remember those.
One of them was Samoa Joe in NXT, I think. I'm pretty sure he lost one. It was a title match, I think. That might have been his first. And then I think he lost to Roman during Roman's title run as the demon. Probably, it definitely couldn't be clean, though, so I don't... It was an Extreme Rules match way back. So I saw like in the stuff, and I remember they even had Finn Balor Demon.
Hmm.
But I think the Demon wins is my pick. Hell in a Cell Demon.
It just makes too much sense for the Demon to win this one. So yeah,
I do think Edge's entrance is probably going to be kind of like Brood Edge, and it's going to be sick. And Demon's entrance is going to be sick. That one's going to be a good one, though. I'm very excited for that one. So Demon consensus. All right, next one is Intercontinental Championship.
Brood Edge. I didn't think about that. I think if he comes out like he used to back in the day with like Gangrel and shit, then
he's done that a couple times. Have you not seen it? Where he comes out like it's sick. So I will say, what was it? Was it SummerSlam when we were up in it was up in Nashville? Edge come up from like essentially it was like he was coming from hell. Bro, that stuff went hard. It had like this sweet metal like breakdowny riff. He was coming up. It was sick.
I'm going to change my answer. I'm going to go with Edge.
I'm staying with the Demon. All right, next one. Triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship, and that would be between Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus. I want to say Gunther, but I feel like they're going to end up pushing him for something else, maybe. I really wanted to go with him because they do love him, but for some reason I want to pick McIntyre. I don't know. Has he ever had the Intercontinental belt?
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, I'm absolutely going with McIntyre on that one.
I think I'm going to go with McIntyre as well.
Claymore kick, and that's going to be it.
Do what?
Claymore kick to somebody's face, that's going to be it.
Okay, this guy. All right, next we have Bianca Belair versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship.
This is really hard for me to actually to give you a good opinion on because I'm so biased. Like, I want Asuka to win so bad. Especially if she comes out with the newer, like, darker face paint that she's been doing. Absolutely, Asuka. You know what? I'm going Asuka. We're done.
I'm going Asuka as well because Bianca's had the belt for it's right at a year, I think, since last Mania. I'm going Asuka to dethrone her. New darker Asuka. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, and that brings us to our main. Wait, what?
Hold on, real quick. What I've been wanting for a really, really long time, and I haven't gotten it, is Asuka to go on a crazy streak like she had back in NXT.
Oh, her undefeated streak? That was nuts.
Yeah.
She was untouchable.
Yeah, I want that. That's what I want. So
could be the start of it.
Yeah, man. I mean, let it, please. I would love that to be the case. Anyway, next match.
Main event time. Roman Reigns and his getting close to 1,000-day reign as the champion, historic reign, versus the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship.
Unless there's something I don't know about Roman Reigns' contract being up, I think he wins.
Supposedly, he's ready to take time off.
Okay, if he's so that I'm glad you said that. I needed to know that seriously.
Well, but there's also reports he's going to be at whatever comes up. There's like isn't there a Saudi Arabia show? Or there's something coming up soon, and I think he's supposed to be there. So I don't know. I feel like, okay, if I was the booker, this is a historic reign. I forget how many days he's away from hitting 1,000. I would let him at least hit 1,000 because that's insane. 1,000 days as a champion in modern wrestling. I mean, you have to go back to like Hogan and stuff like that, which is like, what, 80s to have anything close or, well, better than that or better than his reign. Let him go through this year, and then why not take it off of him at WrestleMania 40? Your 40th anniversary, Roman gets knocked off. Or something, lose it before that, or I don't know. Because you got to have like a big match with Roman then, which I'm sure they will regardless. I think Cody Rhodes needs a bump in the road. He's undefeated. I think he needs to have a hiccup. I think him chasing the belt is going to be really good. So let him like lose a close match, whatever, and then begin the pursuit even more where maybe he gets it in SummerSlam or something like that. I want to go Roman, but I'm also, it's inevitable that Roman, the reign will end. Is it now with Cody? I don't know. What do you think? Who you got?
I'm gonna stick with Roman, dude. I think that they're gonna let him do this until he's absolutely ready to be gone for a while. Like once the check is in the mail, he's ready to be gone for a while. Then he'll lose the title clean. I think is what'll happen. Right now, though, I think he'll probably win this one.
I want to go Roman too.
But
I want Roman
there
to
have been
win.
better matches to me. To me personally, there have been better matches that he could have lost to that would have been great, and he hasn't. So to lose it here, WrestleMania, like
But
I'm not
you
really
gotta
buying
understand
it.
Cody's story though. His dad never won like the heavyweight championship and stuff. So this is like redemption for him. He comes back after Stardust gimmick and all that shit. He's went to the Indies to like prove he could have like his own character, his own thing, stand on his own feet. Was great, did great at AEW, and then comes to WWE. I don't know. He's undefeated right now. He beat Rollins 3 times. Mania. I know the last one's Hell in a Cell with one arm. Was it 2 or 3 times? Don't you have to? I don't know. I'm gonna say Roman, but I could definitely see them putting it on Cody if they're really pushing him. He is selling a lot of merch too. I guess it just depends. Is Roman ready for that break? That's the big thing because he's been, which he doesn't come every week to television. I don't think he does live shows really. Essentially, he's just there for like story needed SmackDowns and Raws, and then pay-per-views he has to do.
He's just what Brock Lesnar was.
But it works, though. I mean, I don't know. I think it's an awesome reign. This is the best Roman we've had by far. I love the Tribal Chief. I like the reign, the bloodline. I think there's more story to be told, though. Like, I almost wonder if Jay or somebody taking the belt off of him will be more poetic. Like Ascension within Bloodline. But I'm gonna say Roman. It's a tough one, though, because I could also see Cody. So there's our predictions. WrestleMania 39. This Saturday and Sunday, April 1st and 2nd. You have any, like, supposedly there's going to be surprises. Do you have any surprises?
Honestly, no. I haven't been keeping up enough to have, like, a valid one, so no.
I'm still going to throw out there the wish that I know won't happen, and that's The Rock. If Roman does lose the belt, The Rock cost him the belt, setting up, like, a match for next year, like, kind of like they did the Cena match, where, like, it's a year-long build-up of it. Other than that, I don't really know what other predictions. I just hope it's good. I hope it's good. I'm excited. We'll be cooking food. We'll be watching it, having family time. Some friends coming over. There's some friends of ours and their babies that are close to baby Sin's age. They're going to be all running amok, so it's going to be chaos. And that brings us to our list, ladies and gentlemen. We are in spirit of WrestleMania and all that good stuff. We have come up with a top 10 list. Yours is 10, isn't it? Did you just 10?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Making sure you were on the same page. Of best themes. Best entrance theme songs. Correct? Is that what you got?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Like I said before, we do not tell each other what we have ahead of time because we're slackers and that's what we do. And it's fun to be surprised. So I'm going to start. I have honorable mentions. We're going to get right into it.
Okay.
And yeah, I have honorable mentions. And first of them, I went all for my top 10 individuals, not factions. So I have to give honorable mentions to DX, The Shield, NWO, and New Day as far as great themes and entrances. Theme song entrances. What do you say? Theme? What? I don't even know what to say. No, you can do it however you want it. I went individuals.
Okay. Thank God.
Yeah, because
you were about to mess up my whole list.
DX is up there. I mean, NWO is a classic. Shield I loved. New Day's great. Like, those are honorable mentions of ones that, like, they would obviously be in my top 10 if I hadn't just went individuals. So I'm about to one that would. I was so excited for WrestleMania because for some reason every time I hear this theme song, I could just imagine it in a huge stadium, just being fantastic. Like, it just sounds like a huge WrestleMania stadium song, and that's Bray Wyatt's new theme, Shatter. I could just see that with the lights and everything. I thought that would have been a great one. Another. Do you want me to give my honorable mentions real quick?
Yes, please.
All right, Batista. Honorable mention.
Okay.
Honorable mention, Mark Henry.
Which one?
Somebody gonna get the ass kicked. Yeah, I love that. Just every time he come on, you're like, oh yeah, somebody about to get the ass kicked. Sting. Sorry, Yobi, if you're listening. Honorable mention, Sting. Yobi's a huge Sting fan. He's been a huge Sting fan for a long time.
Yeah, I know.
All
I
respect.
know.
Sting's awesome. All right. Honorable mention, Razor Ramon. All
right.
Honorable mention. These two are probably about to get you. Honorable mentions. Brock Lesnar. Not because I'm a huge Brock fan, although Cowboy Brock I like way better than previous Brocks.
Talking about his older theme, right?
No, I'm talking about the dun 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 dun, like the normal.
Yeah. Wham wham wham.
Yeah.
Do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah.
not because I'm a huge Brock fan. Cowboy Brock is better, and I can tolerate it better, but just because it's catchy, it's business time. Like it's a good thing. It's a really good entrance. Final one. This is about to probably upset Christian. The Rock. Rock gets honorable mention.
I'm done. I'm out. I'm out.
Okay.
I'm out.
No.
I'm out.
Do you want to do your honorable mentions and then we'll go to number 10?
It doesn't matter now. You just fucked up. I'm out. I'm going home. I'm going home. I have 3 honorable mentions. I know I put up 2 fingers, but 3.
3 honorable mentions. Fingers. For those watching on YouTube, you saw it. Those listening, he gave 2 fingers and said 3. So there you go. That's our dreadlock wizard himself. Boy's good at math.
So good. But to keep it going, the first one may be a surprise to you, Sin, but Here Comes the Money, the Shane McMahon theme. I do really, really like that theme, but it will go under the honorable mentions.
It's a good
list for me personally.
That is such a good one,
dude. If it's not on your list, I'm gonna be surprised.
Here comes the money.
I'm gonna be super surprised if it's not on your list. But to move it along, My Time, which is the old Triple H and China theme. They both shared this theme, and it's a derivative of the DX theme. I don't know if you remember it or not, but yeah, man, I used to really enjoy that one. And then just looking at China come out, I hadn't seen that before as a kid. So seeing some woman come out and be that muscular and just cut and awesome in the ring, I thought that was awesome. So that was what I attributed to her. And then the last one on my honorable mention list is One of a Kind, the RVD theme. I used to blast that theme in the old school games, making characters, but it doesn't make it to my actual list, so it's going to have to go under honorable mentions. But I used to love RVD, loved RVD, and I absolutely loved his theme as well.
All right, what's your number 10 then? What did make the list?
What did make the list? I got to be honest, really quick, fully transparent. This list isn't necessarily in order, but the top 3 are absolutely in order. So just so we're on the same page, to start the list off, I'm going to go number 10 is the Rey Mysterio OG theme. Not the Booyaka Booyaka theme, but the old one that he had. The ones like, who's that jumping out the sky? REY Mysterio. Here we go. That theme, dude. I used to love that. I used to sing that I still sing it to this day. But I used to love him coming out to that and then jumping around, flipping around on people, Hurricane Ranas and stuff. So definitely
Rey Mysterio was so good. I remember watching him when he was young in WCW. He was little.
Absolutely.
He always had sick mask and he did all this crazy lucha stuff that back then I was just like, God, that's nuts.
Yeah, dude. But that's number 10 for me. That's number 10 for me. What's number 10 for you, my dude?
So I'm gonna say 8 through 10 is kind of, I don't know. I'm.
You mean 10 through 8?
8 through 10, yeah. That whole section of my list is just I could switch them so easy. So it's actually a tie for number 10 for me. I couldn't decide.
It's a tie? Come on, bro.
Okay, fine. You want me to decide then?
Yeah. Yeah, you're struggling over there.
I am very struggling. God. Okay.
I have no idea what it is, so I'm excited.
All right, I'm gonna have to. God, dude, I want to tie them so bad. I feel like it both deserves a list. All right, look. All right, Kevin Owens gets moved to honorable mention.
Okay.
I love KO's entrance. Basic, but it's go time. Like, it's a good, simple, kind of like heavy riff that I like. CM Punk.
For those of you non-wrestling fans who don't know who KO is, he means Kevin Owens.
Yeah. CM Punk takes number 10. And
which CM Punk?
I know this is exactly where I'm going. There's two, and I'm just going to lump them both together for the sake
of you got to pick one because I had to pick one.
Look, I'm going to pick This Fire by CM Punk because it's Killswitch Engage. But Cult of Personality slaps too, and it's such a good entrance song. That's why
it's
God, I hate you right now. I just wanted to lump
listen. The reason why I made you pick is because I had the same problem, which brings me to number 9. My number 9 is This Fire Burns, CM Punk's theme.
Which was earlier Punk in WWE. So good. It's such a good song. That's tough. Cult of Personality is a banger too, though. Like, you just know
that's a banger. That song's a banger, but it didn't fit. It didn't fit the gimmick. It didn't fit him. It didn't fit the WWE.
He still
but This Fire Burns.
All right, so number 9 for you was This Fire Burns, CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're not,
and that's number 10 for you, right?
Look, I'm gonna tell you this one right here because I love the entrance and the song goes hard. Aleister
This is
Black.
Your number 9.
Yes.
Dude, I forgot about Aleister Black. He's not on my list. I can't remember the name of it.
Hold on. I actually bought this song on on Apple. What is the actual name of the song? It was wasn't it Code Orange song, I think?
No, Code Orange was Bray's theme.
Code Orange has done others though. Who is it? Maybe it's not Code Orange. It's it's CFO, Root of All Evil.
That's it.
Dude, the song went so hard. His entrance coming up from the coffin went so good. Aleister Black. Now I can't remember his name in AEW. Drawing a blank. Sorry, wrestling fans.
It's something Black. It's
Malachi or something like that. Is it Malachi Black?
Yeah, Malachi Black. Yeah.
There we go. All right, number 8 for you.
Oh man. Ooh. Number 8 for me. What is my number 8? Let me hold on.
Oh my God.
I have to actually find it on my list because it's a little jumbled together.
Quit struggling.
Yeah. I legitimately can't find my number 8. Oh, here it is. I got it. Number 8 for me is Break the Walls, the old Chris Jericho theme. Break the walls down. I used to love his little intro with the Titantron and all that, especially when he was holding 2 titles, man. I used to love that.
Dude, it's crazy when you hear the names of these, or you even say it like that theme song pops in your head. That's how you know they're good songs because you just start singing it. Chris
Jericho was one of my favorite. He used to be one of my favorites, man. Back in his WWE reign, I didn't watch him a whole lot in AEW. I like his gimmicks and I like him as a wrestler still, but I like Chris Jericho more so as a person than a wrestler now. Back then,
his theme song now. Spoiler: it's not on my top 10. But the crowd goes nuts for it, which is a Fozzy song, his band. They sing it to him. Something Judas. I can't remember it.
Yeah, I don't remember. But definitely that's number 8 for me. Break the Walls, the old Chris Jericho. And when I say it, when you say it, you want to immediately break the walls down. You know it.
Okay. Number 8 for me. Shinsuke Nakamura. Love his intro.
Shinsuke's theme is great. Shinsuke, he's not on my list, full disclosure, but his theme is great, and I almost made him an honorable mention.
I like it. He gets it just because, then again, though, a lot of these, the younger ones, like KO. I say younger, they're not younger, but they come up into the developmental system and then went to main roster. Like KO and Aleister Black and Shinsuke, their themes, NXT used to sing them, which made it so much more epic. And then coming over to main roster, So Shinsuke's number 8 for me.
That's
number
scary.
7 for you.
Oh God!
Or do you want me to do number 7?
It's getting tough. I actually changed my number 7 before we started recording originally, because I forgot about a theme, and I remembered it right before we started this thing. So I will say my original number 7 was the Hardy Boys theme, their first one that everybody remembers. That was it. But I thought of something else, and I couldn't put it higher on the list because then that would change the order of everything. And we're running low on time. But my number 7 is Mankind's theme.
Ooh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, yeah, dude. I to this day I love Mankind's theme. Like starting off with the car crash, dude. Love it, love
Okay.
it.
Fair. My number 7, and it hurt me a little bit to put the theme a little lower, because Shawn Michaels, Heartbreak Kid.
Heartbreak Kid.
Just a
All right,
sexy
all right.
boy. Not your boy
That
toy.
theme was never one of my favorites. Like it worked for him.
Shawn Michaels is my favorite wrestler probably of all time. So
Really,
Shawn Michaels
he
was
has one of my
GOAT.
favorite signature moves. And I to this day, I tell my son to this day, like, you want to sweet chin music? You want to sweet chin music? And I had to pull up a video and show him what the
Mr.
sweet chin music was.
WrestleMania? What?
Yeah, dude, I had to show it to him. He had no idea what it was. It was hilarious.
All right, brings us
He
to
was
number
like, I don't
6.
want. Yeah, number 6, dude. Ooh, let me find my number 6. You kind of discounted this one on your list because of how you were doing things, but on my list, my number 6 is "Are You Ready?" The DX theme, baby. That's gotta love that theme so much. Like, dude, I remember being in middle school.
If I hadn't separated factions from that, which I could, if I thought about it, I'm sure there's more factions that I could have like shouted out, but if I hadn't separated it would have been in my top 10, the DX one.
Dude, if you've been a wrestling fan since the 90s, that has to be in your top 10. Like it has to be. So I don't know how you made your list without it, but congratulations.
All right, number 6 for me. 6, right?
Yep.
Randy Orton. I hear voices in my head.
I hear voices in my head.
Such a good thing for him because of his character and just it's a good one.
Yeah, man, it works for him every time.
And it's catchy too.
I equate that theme with somebody getting RKO'd and then the match being over.
It's iconic. All right, number 5.
Number 5 for me, like I don't know, like I said, I don't know your list. I don't know where you have things on your list, but for me, number 5 is Metal English, Edge's newer theme by Alter Bridge. Okay. Love that. That was actually, so here's the thing. I actually kind of like Alter Bridge. They have 2 albums that I like. And the album that has this song on it is one of the albums that I like. But the first time I heard that song wasn't on the album. It was because of Edge. And the funny part is I owned the disc because back then we had CDs for you younger listeners. But I had the disc for this, and I, for some reason, just always skipped that song and didn't listen to it. So when Edge came out to that music and then somebody put the pieces together for me, I was like, what? So I went back to my disc and wore that song out, dude. I wore it out. But absolutely, man, Edge's theme, Metal English, I love it. I love it.
It's a good one. My number 5.
I love that song.
Glass breaks. Stone Cold comes out because it's time to open a can of whoop ass. Stone Cold Steve Austin's theme.
Yeah. I think that theme is called I Won't Do What You Tell Me.
I don't know what the name is. I mean, it's just Stone Cold. Stone Cold. Stone Cold.
I love Stone Cold's theme as well. You'll see that later on. But
number 4.
Man, that's what number was that for you?
That was 5.
What number was that?
Same as you.
Number 5 for you. Okay. Number 5 for you. All right. So number 4. Man, now I gotta find number 4. Here we go. Number 4 for me, dude. Here's the thing. I gotta give you a super quick backstory to this. I didn't appreciate this theme until around 2019, 18, 19. I really started going back and listening to this, and I love it. And it's my number 4. Batista's I Walk Alone, dude. I love his theme.
Oh,
Every time I heard that, I was just like, oh, here we go. Here we go. He's coming. He's coming. The animal is on his way.
Oh my God.
Here's the thing. I like Batista so much. His very last match when he wrestled Triple H and lost, I was like, dude, I was so hurt that I almost just quit watching all of it because I was so pissed off.
Oh
I
my
was
God.
pissed. I was pissed. Not only did Batista come out and mess up his own intro by tripping and falling, running down the damn ring, dude, but he still lost to Triple H, dude. I was like, Triple H, it doesn't need this win. He doesn't need this win at all. He could have totally lost and it would have been fine, but he still wins.
If he lost, he had to retire.
Who gives a shit? He retired anyway. We all
actually,
knew
it technically was Triple H's last match because he did have to retire because of his heart afterwards.
I still think that match was bullshit.
Was retired. He just wanted one last Mania.
Dude, Batista should have won that match. I don't care what anybody says. I will die on this hill. He should have absolutely dominated. The build up for that match was insane. Him fucking up Ric Flair and shit. I was so ready for him to win this match. And when I literally was taken aback. Grown ass man was like, when he lost, dude, gasp. As soon as he lost that match, I was like, well, fuck this. I'm done. I'm out. I'm done. Love Batista, dude. He deserved better.
All right. So that's
number
your
four
number
for you,
4?
Sir. That's my number 4.
My number 4 was your number 5. Edge. What is it? Metalingus?
Nice.
Is that what you said it was? Is that the
Metalingus, yeah.
Yep. Such a great on this day. So it's such a good intro. Love it. That's my number 4.
I remember when I thought that Edge's theme was
just like his favorite wrestler of all time.
Remember his older theme, You Think You Know Me, and then it turned into this, dude? God, so good, so good. But we're going into the top 3. We're going into the top 3. And man, this was hard. This was hard for me. My top 3 is obviously very different from your top 3. But coming in at number 3 is Burn It Down, Seth Rollins' older theme. Love that theme. That was my favorite Seth Rollins theme. His new one is cool. I really do like that new theme. It fits his character. I love that it's still metal heavy. I love it. But Burn It Down, dude, I used to work out to that. Like, that was my go-to. So that's number 3 for me, absolutely.
It's kind of funny you say that because my number 3 is also Seth Rollins.
Is it Burn It Down?
So I did current Burn It Down and the Acacia Strain one. And honestly,
You can never choose just one. You're cheating.
So Acacia Strain was the first one when he first turned out of the Shield. And then it evolved to Burn It Down, which I think still had the same Acacia Strain breakdown and like riff chugging. Just had Burn It Down. But the new one, I really like the new one because it has the Burn It Down. It has like a nice little heavy riff, and then it has like the little crowd participation choir singing. It's really good. Yeah, Rollins, number 3.
What I just got from what you said is you can't pick one. You've been double picking this whole time.
Not really. When did I double pick?
Well, I've made you pick one. You would have been double picking this whole damn list. But moving on. Number 2 for me, man. Like I said, this was very difficult for me. I've been wrestling themes. Like, if you're a wrestling fan, the themes are almost the most important thing, right? Aside from just having really good matches. But number 2 for me, like I said, this was very difficult. This could have easily been number 1 for me. It could have been number 3. But as of today, my number 2 favorite wrestling theme of all time is Stone Cold's theme. Absolutely. Love it. Okay. I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, I still remember, dude, the doing the metal face, the headbang. I knew it from that moment. That's when I knew I didn't want to listen to the same music my peers were listening to. I wanted something different. And it started with listening to that glass break for Stone Cold's theme, which was actually...
The glass breaks, it's time to whoop some ass. Like, oh no.
Dude.
Here he comes.
And it fits him perfectly. Hearing that song makes me want to do two things: one, go to the gym, and two, drink a bunch of beer. Like those two things. And I'll never forget that. That's all thanks to him. And I actually watched an interview with him recently, and he was saying that when they asked him what he wanted for his theme, he told them that he wanted it to be akin to Rage Against the Machine. And that's the song that Jim Johnston came up with, and he was like, "That works perfectly." So after hearing that, it made me like the song even more. So definitely number 2 for me is Stone Cold's theme, which I believe is called "I Won't Do What You Tell Me," because that's the song that he used by Rage Against the Machine to get this song made. So yeah,
Okay.
there we go. Number 2.
My number 2 is the one, the only, the Dead Man, the Undertaker. Now, there's several variations, but I like just the simple gong, lights go out, and then I can't remember what the name of it is. The actual name of the song.
I don't know what it's called either, but I know what you're talking about. I will say that song is synonymous.
There's a name for it, and I can't think of it, but it's pretty much the one he comes out to anytime he comes out now. Not American Badass Taker, although Ministry of Darkness, where they changed it up because I think it had a little more like rock or like metalish vibe in it to go with like After the Gong. That one was kind of fire, but just the classic gong, super slow entrance. It's iconic. It has to be. It's top 2 for me.
Okay. Taker's theme has never been one of my favorites, but it's absolutely synonymous with his character. So I understand.
Taker and Shawn are my 2 favorite wrestlers of all time.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Go ahead and give us your number 1.
My number 1 favorite theme of all time, and I almost went Taker, but anytime there was a video game, I had to have this theme. I had to have this entrance because it goes so hard, and it is the best, and that's because I am the game. Triple H is the game, not King of Kings. I love the game.
I knew that was going to be your number 1. You are a Triple H fan.
The water spit.
I just knew it.
The Motorhead. I am the game.
Time to play the game.
It's so good. It's such a good entrance and theme.
It's all about the game and how you play it.
Yeah, dude. Fantastic. Yeah, I do love Triple H. Triple H is probably in my top 5 wrestlers of all time. Maybe top 3. Maybe. Possibly. Probably.
I get it, man. I totally get it.
Okay, who's your number 1? You're going to say The Rock.
I mean, my number 1 theme, bro. My number 1 thing, here's the thing. This was the theme that would play back when I was the most into wrestling, and I would be like, I don't care what's happening. This theme is on. It's time to pay attention. It's time to listen. It's time to get hype. It's time to smell. I love The Rock's theme, specifically the theme that's called Know Your Role, because he's had a lot of variations on his theme as well, and some of them are trash. But Know Your Role, that version of the Rock's theme, the one he had in like 2000, I want to say 2002 to 2004, that's the one. If you smell what the Rock is cooking, like that theme to me that's wrestling, bro. That's wrestling to me. Every time I hear that, I feel the same feelings I felt when I was 10 years old. Like, it's amazing. So I can't praise that theme enough. There are certain themes that I associate wholly with wrestling. 100%. The Rock's theme, Know Your Role. Kurt Angle's theme. Stone Cold's theme. Mankind's theme. Like, those are themes that I hear and I'm like, yep, wrestling. We're watching wrestling today. It's a wrestling day. Finn Balor's theme is another one that I hear and I immediately think of wrestling. I just those you can't do better than those, in my opinion, unless you're just playing real songs that come off of a band who is touring and blah, 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 blah. But when I hear wrestling themes, man, The Rock, number 1 for me, 100%.
Fair. That's why your Max is honorable mention. Understand? And Batista.
Absolutely, absolutely. Those two, you hearing
No
those themes
Triple
just
H
be
love
honorable
from you
mentions.
though.
I'm like,
I mean, you did give him the old
how
one.
dare you take a dump on the legacy that is that theme? But I get it, man. I get it. You like Triple H. It makes sense.
I do like Triple H. The game, that was such a good
I
entrance.
know.
It was a good entrance. You didn't even like
I'm
The
not thinking
Undertaker?
about the entrance though. I'm not thinking about the
No, I
entrance.
think
I'm
about the
thinking
song
about
too.
the
It all went
music.
together. It all blends into me. When you go a theme like I think of Stone Cold and like The Walk. Because if he would have come out like all, oh, I'm scared to that music, then they kind of would have tainted the music to you a little bit, would it not? If he'd have been like a different character. But the glass breaks, he comes out with like that pissed off swagger, just strutting. It works.
Mhm.
I get it
And
though.
he either had the t-shirt on or he had the
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 vest.
vest. And yeah, man, I remember seeing that and just being like, this is peak, bro. This is peak. And I'm still there. And Stone Cold has aged gracefully. He still
Stone
looks
Cold's
damn
still
near the same.
jacked. Which same
Yes.
Rock
Yes,
is
yes.
huge. Rock's bigger now than he was when he wrestled.
Rock doesn't even look the same anymore because he literally looks like a bunch of boulders stuck together.
Rock is
Like he's
insane how
huge.
big he is. It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
All right,
I,
that's our top
I
10.
watch
Let us
old
know in the
wrestling
comments.
matches.
What? What?
I was just saying.
What?
I was just saying. I watch old wrestling
What?
matches all the time, and I love
What?
seeing the difference between what Rock looks like now compared to what like then. And
What?
it's vast, dude. It's a vast
What?
difference. Like his face is the same, but everything else is different.
Christian's like, you will
And
not cut
like,
my promo off with your
no,
what?
you won't. I'll tell you. I'll tell you what.
What?
What
What?
hearing you do that just reminds me of why I like Kurt Angle's music. It's not on my list. It wasn't honorable mention because I literally can't hear Kurt Angle's music
You
without
suck.
yelling "You suck" like in between. I can't even do it. But yeah, man, that's my list. Those are the themes. Those are my top 10 of all time. I'll die on that hill for all of them, and I think I chose well, man. I
That
really
was
do.
that was a
I think
fun
you
one.
did too.
Let us know in the comments what's your top 10. What's your favorite wrestling theme of all time? Curious. I would like to know in the comments what everybody picked. But that's it for those topics, and it's time to
pass the whiskey.
That's right. Get your
Whiskey!
because we need it. We have made it to the last call question through all the technical issues, which I very much apologize about. We'll make it as seamless in between it as possible. But, shit happens, and I'm sorry. And things just don't want to cooperate with us at all. Ever. And I'm not blaming Christian for this one. All right, but our last call question this week. We're keeping it in the wrestling theme. It's this episode is going very much along with WrestleMania and going down that road. And last call this week is, what is your favorite WrestleMania match of all time?
That is a tough question, and there are a lot of really good WrestleMania matches. And I don't want to. I want to say this first. I'm going to tell you what my favorite is, but know that there are so many other WrestleMania matches that I would much rather rewatch. Right, this match isn't necessarily my favorite because of the rewatchability. It's just my favorite because at this time I was very involved in the story. I was very involved in this character's journey. I was very involved in what was happening when this WrestleMania happened, and I wanted this person to take the gold home, if you will, so much at this point. And it's a newer WrestleMania match. If that tells you anything, there, like I said, thinking about this was really tough because there's a lot of matches that could be my favorite, but I don't remember them all. Before I say this, it was almost the I don't remember which WrestleMania it was, but there was a WrestleMania where it was The Rock versus Stone Cold. Those are two of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and that match was insane because both of those guys knew what they were doing. They went out there and did it. Like, it was gross, it was gritty, it was long. I really enjoyed the match. The Rock is the only person, in my opinion, that has sold the stunner so well, but also so goofy to the point to where I was just like, he's fucking dead. Like
He
it's insane.
oversells it, but it's great.
Yeah, and I found out later that it was a bet. Like
Yeah.
he bet Stone Cold every day. Like I'm gonna sell it this much. I'm gonna do this much. I'm gonna do this thing. And it got to the point to where he would get stunnered and like flip across the fucking ring, dude. And it looks silly now, but when I was a kid watching it, I was like, he just broke his fucking neck. Like, because I'm gullible, you know. but with all that
dead,
build up to that match. Yeah, because then you had like JR and the King, and then my God, he put him through a table. No, like I used to love that stuff, man. That was my favorite shit of all time. And talking about it now, man, I think that's actually my favorite WrestleMania match. And I can't remember which Mania it was, but it's Rock vs. Stone Cold. My number 2, though, the one that I was going to say before hyping up this one, which ended up being my favorite. But my number 2, the one that was my favorite, was actually from WrestleMania 35, and it was Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair.
That was a really good
And
match.
Dude, you know what, man?
Honestly,
I know I'm going back and forth.
That
That's
one was
probably my
good.
favorite.
What about just throwing another one, playing like devil's advocate? There was a women's match. Was it 34 or 33? It was Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha. And they freaking stole the show. It's when they first they changed it from the Divas to the women's championship.
Yeah.
And
the reason why
I remember watching damn, they legit
I know what you're
stole
talking
the
about.
show. That was really
I know what
good.
you're talking about. The reason why that one wasn't on my favorites list is because of the emotional state I was in at the time watching WWE. Like I couldn't see anybody winning other than Becky because of the story that was being told at the time. And that match was great, mind you, that match was amazing. But when we got the Becky, the Ronda, the Charlotte match, WrestleMania 35, dude, I was on a whole nother level of
First women's main event.
Dude, yes. That shit meant something to me personally. Becky being one of my favorite female wrestlers too, was just a thing. And then we got Becky 2 belts, bro. That was the birth of Becky 2 belts. And dude, my fiance probably would tell you I was fucking annoying how much I like Becky Lynch. My ringtone was her fucking theme. It was insane. I liked all of that shit. So seeing that match and seeing her actually win and having both of those belts, I was like, just don't ever take them away from her. And then, eventually she lost the belts, and then, she was pregnant with Seth Rollins' kid and all that stuff, and she gave that up to Asuka, which made sense. But dude, I absolutely adored the match between them because I'm a Charlotte Flair hater. I think she's a fantastic athlete. I think she's an amazing wrestler. I think that she does the job really, really well. But I have hardcore Charlotte Flair fatigue, hardcore, and she's really fun to dislike. I can't say enough good things about that match, man. It was amazing. Becky versus Ronda versus Charlotte. I was so invested. I couldn't wait for Becky to win that. I was rooting for her 100%. She did win. We got Becky 2 belts, which was one of my favorite gimmicks of hers. Who's the man? Be careful when the man comes around. All that stuff. All of that stuff that we got for her, man. I was so into it. It was ridiculous. So once again, definitely one of my favorite WrestleMania matches of all time. I really enjoyed it. I can't say enough good things. But Sin, that's your turn, man. Tell us what you think. What you got going on in your head?
Well, I'm ready to open a can of whoop ass on all the technical issues. First off, let me throw that because we have persevered through so much today. And if you rode with us this long, we appreciate it. But my last call question: favorite WrestleMania match of all time? That is a good question because you have matches like Stone Cold Bret Hart. Iconic match. You have Roman Brock Lesnar, the first one with the Seth Rollins cash-in, which was a nice swerve. You have Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels Iron Man match. Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels in the first ever ladder match. You can literally list Stone Cold Rock, like you said. Um, Triple H, Batista, Triple H, Randy Orton. Like, there is literally so many good matches that you could put out there. But for me, it's a clear favorite. Another one, Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. They stole the show a couple years ago. Fantastic match. Bianca last year, I think, was actually another great match, too. But for me, WrestleMania 25. Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker. The first one, it was, and both of them have said it, as close to a perfect match as you could get. The crowd was electric. The only goof up in the entire match, the only spot that didn't go perfect, which is crazy because there's so many things that can go, variables that can go wrong in matches and stuff like that. The only spot that was wrong, and I think I read this in Sean's book, and Taker said it too, but there's a point where Taker is going to jump over the ropes onto Shawn and the cameraman. And whenever Taker hits the ropes, Shawn's supposed to pull the cameraman and align perfectly so they can help catch Taker's fall, brace his impact and stuff like that. Well, the cameraman gets like a step out of position, and Taker essentially face plants. Like, he hits like his head on the thing. Like, he wasn't able to fully break his fall. The only mess up in the whole thing. The rest of it went perfect. It is such a great match. I watch it every year before Mania. I love it. It's so good. Two of my favorites all time. I will say the WrestleMania 25, 6, 7, and 8. The Shawn versus Taker in 25 and 26. And then Triple H versus Taker in 27, 28. So good. Ending in the end of the era match with the Hell in a Cell. Shawn is the referee. So good.
Mm-hmm.
So good. That's mine. Yep.
All right, man. Well, that's our wrestle talk for today.
Wrestle talk. Yeah, you got a whole lot of wrestling if you made it this far, so we appreciate you. If you'd like to hear more or want us to break down any more lists or anything like that, definitely let us know. We will happily do it. But yeah, enjoy WrestleMania this weekend. I know we're going to, and eat food and stuff like that, and that's going to do it for this episode. But if you would like your last call featured in an episode of this podcast, be sure to hit us up on gilded.gg/sinisterpack in the application put from the podcast, and you'll get accepted, and you are more than welcome to go to the podcast section, submit your last call question or your Sinister tale, or just chat with us about episodes, post your drinks, all that good stuff and things. Great way to stay in touch. You can also see all the stuff from my streaming there as well. It's all a home for everything. You can find us on social media at Sippin With Sin, Sippin with Sin, on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter. Go drop a follow over there. Talk to us. DM us your last call questions. Another great way to get it to us. You can find every episode every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Central. Apple, Google, Spotify, Anchor.fm, Overcast, pretty much everywhere. 8 a.m. every Wednesday. New episodes of Sippin With Sin. Check it out. Rate it 5 stars. Share it with a friend. Pass it along. Follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. All the stuff you need to do to podcast. You can find the video version of the podcast as well every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Central Time on my personal YouTube, youtube.com/IamSinister. Thumbs up it. Subscribe to the channel over there. You can watch the video version, see our faces and all the glory as we make Christian mad every week. But go check it out on YouTube. We appreciate you all. You can also comment and let us know what you think about different things and different topics. Let us know in there. You can find me on my personal socials. I am Sinister TV on Twitter and Instagram. I am Sinister TV. That's right. Facebook.com/IamSinister TV. You can find me streaming on Twitch.tv/IamSinister TV. You can find me on Kick.com/IamSinister. And you can find me on TikTok at IamSinister TV. Christian, where can the folks find you and your dreadlocks?
You guys can find me at Venom Inc. on my Instagram, of course. You guys can also find me over at my horror podcast, Horrorverse Pod, on all the socials. And you can find me at just my name, Christian Vincent, on TikTok, doing movie reviews and such. That's where you guys can find me. All right.
Well, you don't have to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. It's time to shut it down for this week. Again, apologies about the technical issues and all the stuff that went wrong because, that's what happens when you're recording stuff. Things break. But if you smell what Christian's cooking, it's time to go the hell home. Christian, shut it down.
Thank you guys for tuning in to yet another episode of Sipping With Sin. Be sure to leave a 5-star review, smash that like button, leave your comments in the recommendation section below the video if you're watching it. But above all else, guys, have a good night. And remember these 3 words. 3 words tell you guys every single episode. Say them with me. Don't get gutted.
See you guys next week.